It's for soldering pipes together. Works great for soldering pipes together, but the acid will destroy your electronics if you try to use it for electronics. There's also unleaded solder because lead is poisonous, but the flux inside of that is almost always super toxic. So we don't use that for do-it-yourself. But for mass production, you always use it. In fact, it's required by law everywhere in the world now because lead's poisonous. We don't want to add more. And the thing is, lead rubs off very easily on anything it touches, like your fingers. So I've just been touching this a few seconds and my fingers are already kind of gray. So that's the lead. If you eat without washing your hands first, it'll rub off very easily on your food. And you'll eat it, it gets in your body, and all heavy metals, which lead is, go to your brain and stay there till you die. They never go away. And a little bit in your brain is no problem at all. A little bit more is no problem at all. A little bit more, that's also no problem. But eventually, enough gets in there and you reach a threshold, you go insane and you lose all your friends. So there's totally no need for doing that. Just wash your order. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't like go through your system. I mean, you can edit it.
And I am insane, but this type of insanity is probably a good thing because it keeps me from being too normal. And, but actually, nobody's normal. People act normal. But if you take all the qualities of normal and put them in a list, not a single person out of 7 billion on the planet has all of those qualities. Nobody's normal. So be your own weird self. It's a good thing. But the kind of insanity that comes with lead poisoning is no fun. It's totally unnecessary. And it's avoidable. So, and there's already lead in all of our brains because it used to be in all gasoline and all paint. And it's in our environment. So, yeah, so anyways, it washes off very easily because lead rubs off very easily on anything it touches, including soap. Yeah.
What am I going to do it out of
No. So this has a relatively low melting point for an alloy of metal. It's 280 degrees Celsius. That is not hot enough to vaporize metal. And we need like 1400 degrees Celsius or something like that.
So then the smoke you see is just like the flux burning?
Exactly. It's vaporized flux. So this gets hot enough to melt this, which means hotter than 285, and it's good enough. So it's actually about 300 degrees Celsius. And that smoke this turns to a liquid as soon as it gets hot, and then it's on the tip so it vaporizes, and that's the smoke you see. It's not good to breathe that in, but there's plenty of ventilation in here. But in a place that's not well ventilated, I usually blow lightly as I'm soldering. So these tips are pretty nasty. These other ones just as bad. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some chemistry. There's this stuff called tip cleaner. That stuff of smoke is horrible. So when I do that, don't breathe that in. So anyways, yeah. It's good not to breathe it in, but it's not horribly toxic, but there's no need to breathe it in. You can live a perfectly healthy life without ever breathing that stuff in. Okay? So keep that in mind. When you're not using your solder iron, it's good to keep it in the stand, because most people say that when it rolls on your lap, they don't like it. Yeah, so there's three main safety tips for soldering that are important. One, I told you about lead. Another one, totally obvious. This gets hot enough to melt metal, so if you touch it, you let go quickly. And the third one comes when it's, I'll show you that one when we cut excess lumens. There's two main things that are like the secret of soldering. And I'll show you those two. So, with TVGON kit, there's 3 resistors. Resistor starts with R, and so on the board there's markings of where to put them R1, R2, R3, etc. And the different colored bands show you the amount of ohms. In the TV Gone kit, oh yeah, and on all the kits there's a link that shows you where to go online to get assembly procedures. Like while you're here, I can just show you. But if you want to do it at home, there's really fantastic assembly procedures for all the kits. And it shows you where to put all the parts. This one has brown, black, orange. This is used only if you're in Europe. So you won't use this one. That's R3. And these are the same, brown, black, red, 1,000 ohms. If you don't know the color code, you can look them up or use Google or your favorite search engine. That's what the internet's for. But these are both the same. You can put them in either way. They're both interchangeable because they're both 1,000 ohms. And they go in R1 and R5. So I'm going to put this one in R5. In resistors, you do need to bend the leads first. So you bend the leads like so. So it looks kind of like a staple. And I'll just put this in R5. Here. And by the way, this one also has R2 on the board, and that one's going to be blank. That's just to confuse you. So we put the parts in all the way until they touch the board. If you don't do that, then the part can stick up and then it can bend over and make a connection on another pad where we don't want it. But if you push it in all the way until it touches the board, then that can't happen. So hold it in place while we turn it over and bend the leads out about 45 degrees.
Get a meter.
Because we're going to put all the parts in on one side of the board and solder on the other. Okay, now it's ready to solder. Oh, and I need this.
Hi. How are you? I'm good. I'm just looking for soldering on all